Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Toon review for tonight's match review, of course, of the draw at Goodison Park yesterday, where it finished Everton 0, Newcastle United 0. I used the word frustrating. I think we're going to get a few more words tonight. It'll be interesting to see what we have going on in the chat tonight, where you stand on things. I thought it was a decent performance, but we just frustration because we lacked the cutting edge again. But we'll decide that throughout the night. But thank you for joining us. My name is Paul. I'm joined by, of course, Billy Bob and Lady Sam. Alex is away celebrating his birthday, so a massive birthday to Stato. And we hope he's had a fantastic day. Also, a birthday to one of our mods as well, Ian Anderson. So happy birthday to Ian as well. I hope you both had cracking days. But please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed the show and a subscribe if you do like what you see. But don't forget to hit the bell. That'll notify you when we upload a video or go live. And, of course, you can support the channel in the two normal ways. First, by membership, which is the join button just underneath the three of us. It really does help the channel being a member. And, of course, super chats are available via the $sign at the bottom of the live comments, and that will guarantee your comment to be read out on the show. We've also got Martin Brophy, who has signed up to membership. So thank you very much, Martin, and welcome to the membership squad. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone, and in Viewerland and everyone on the panel too. How are you all?
We're good. Lady Sam,
What?
It appears that you've had a very bad weekend because obviously being out yesterday to watch the lads and not a great result, and then of course the lasses slipping in the dying moments of the game today, which I'm sure you'll discuss more with Aaron on Tuesday's War Lashes show, because you've got a couple of games to go through, haven't you? Because obviously the League Cup, etc. But a kick in the teeth. So I suppose you'll be delving into that, of course, 7 o'clock on Tuesday night. But no victory and no
Been a weekend.
Yeah.
The ever emotional roller coaster that is being a Toon fan is what it is. So yeah, just killing my vibe. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. Not. What's worrying me is that the men's side now obviously haven't scored, Billy, since the first half against Fulham, I believe it was. It's a bit worrying that we haven't scored from open play.
We have no strikers on the pitch, no centre forwards, and that's basically the reason for it all.
Well, this is what I wanted to ask you too, right?
We're playing we played the best football yesterday. We played the best football we've played all season, easily.
Yeah.
I thought we were really good for 80% of the pitch. It's just that last 20 where it counts, so we didn't.
But this is where we go back to Eddie's comments a few weeks ago in a press conference, where he said that that Anthony Gordon was the third striker, which is why we didn't go out and pay a lot of money for another striker. We brought Will Asula in, clearly not fancied at the moment. I have no idea why. Not even 10 minutes on the pitch yesterday to try and maybe nick the game. I have no idea, but we'll come on to that, I'm sure, later on. It was crying out yesterday, Sam, for a striker, and Anthony Gordon had his chances, and he's since come out and obviously put a tweet out saying that it wasn't to be yesterday, but we just needed that killer touch.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I did like the tweet that he posted. It must have been so difficult, and I'm sure we'll get on to, should he have taken the pen, shouldn't he have taken the pen? But I think generally at the moment, I feel like we are talking about men's team, by the way, right now. I feel like we are the spork in the cutlery drawer. I feel like we have the ability to do the job, but it's hard work and often ineffective, and it's just so frustrating. It's killing me right now. Just that edge, that clinicalness, we just don't have it.
And the Pugs clearly agree. I mean, look, I've seen a couple of comments already saying about Minte scored today, looked really good. Of course, Chris Wood scored for Forest. And then, what I don't get, Billy, is if you remember last season, he was quite happy to throw young Parkinson into the game a few times to try and maybe rustle it up a little bit. I know he was stretched with injuries, don't get me wrong, but he still gave him an opportunity. Yet we're not seeing Asula. I find that really baffling.
I thought yesterday's game wasn't ready for Asula. I think with the physicality of the Everton centre-half, so they've Asula for breakfast. So I agree with Eddie Howe not bringing him on.
Oh.
The last thing they wanted was pace with now. They hated it. And despite it's not scoring, we should have scored 3 or 4.
Yes.
A more physical battle. I think Tarkovsky and Keane enjoyed that battle much more. And if you'd have asked them, who do you want to take off? They'd have said, Gordon, bring on Asula. We'll take that all day, every day.
Yeah, PD Proudlock says he bumped into Lee from NFTV yesterday after the game. And Lee pointed out we've only scored 2 goals. 2 goals when Isak has been missing. Obviously, that's just this season, I guess. But goals, we're finding it very difficult to score. There's no doubt about that. We've got some very good finishes on the pitch, Sam, but we just don't shoot. That's one problem we do have, is that we just try and be too intricate every time.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily think that we're, trying anything that's like the dark arts or anything particularly outstanding, when people try and, they get a bit too technical, a bit too fancy, and it's maybe not necessarily in their wheelhouse to do so. It's just that clinical finish. It's like we sort of get near a goal and then we just lose composure. We just lose that edge, and it's hard to. Well, I was going to say it's hard to say what it is, but it's just an out and out striker is what it is. So we need to get one in.
Sam, can you just check which mic you're connected to?
I did before we joined.
Sounds like to me.
Again.
It might be my headphones. It's fine actually.
Oh.
Yeah, hang on a minute.
Yeah, this is where you say, yeah,
Don't
it's
worry.
me. Right, okay.
It's me, not you.
I blame Stato personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do as well. Right, we are putting a poll up tonight, and we've had plenty of requests for this poll because I'm interested to see where the fan base stand actually on the manager. Because again, there was lots and lots of people saying Eddie Howe out. Lots of people saying don't be stupid, man. So let's do it. How should I question this? Should I say, is Eddie still your man? Yeah? Is that the right way?
Okay.
All right, okay. Are you still confident in
Eddie in, Eddie out?
That's just as bad.
Eddie all about? Yes, it is. Are you
Oh.
Keep or release? That's just as bad as well.
Oh, jeez.
Hang on a minute. Let me word this the right way. Are you still supporting Eddie? There you go. So that's the poll. No, I don't want to add another option. There you go. It's up now, so we'll revisit that later on. Are you still supporting Eddie? Yes or no? Let us know, and we will have a look at that later on to see where you guys stand as to the manager's position. I'm not Eddie out at all. I think we'll, once we get some strikers on the pitch, I think then you'll see a real change around, because if Wilson or Isak was on that pitch yesterday, I pretty much guarantee we'd have won the game by 3 or 4 goals. The chances we created, we just needed a striker to be in a striker position. And this is what I get frustrated about, when Eddie Howe talks about Anthony Gordon as a third striker. He's not a striker. He doesn't take up the positions of a striker. Crow's Tail 88, thank you for your super chat. Isak and Wilson, kings of the sick note. And Michael McIntyre, thank you for your super chat. Simply says, hi all, Toon.
I think about Anthony Gordon. I think he's a striker. He can play as a striker. What he isn't is a natural finisher. That's the difference. I like him as a striker. I just don't think he can finish.
Yeah, but there was a couple of crosses coming in that really, that one. I remember. I can't remember. Yes, first half it was clipped to the back post. Well, the one he headed back for Joe Linton. If that was Wilson, he heads it in the net. And of course, the one that was clipped to the back post, when 3 of them went into the middle, and if there was somebody at the back post, it was a simple nod into the net. It's those little crucial decisions that.
Yeah, but that's where Murphy should be. That's where Murphy should be. Really.
Well, yes, but I mean, you just get the feeling if there was a striker on the pitch, especially Callum. I think if Callum was there, the positions that you mentioned this in commentary yesterday, Bill. The positions that Callum Wilson takes up within the 18-yard box, he's lethal like that. He seems to know. He just knows where to be, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And that's what we kind of need.
Isak hasn't been exactly kicking them in the neck for fun, though, has he? And I think
this is what I said yesterday. Yeah.
So, yes, we need a striker, but we need like a really, really fit in his prime Callum Wilson-esque striker that suits Eddie's type of play. And I think we would square peg, round hole, and Gordon on the right wing again. It's just echoing of missed opportunities from that transfer window. I think we would just be in such a better, stronger position. That's where we need to sort.
Gary Hannon's been a member for 30 months now. Thank you so much for your support, Gary. I'll still say the Everton goalkeeper had kept them in the game, but what about Bruno G's shot? Then back heel save. I mean, that was just typical of bad luck. That, I mean, I think it was it.
I don't think he did it on purpose.
It hit his calf and then just. But it was the spin of the ball as well, Sam. It was like how does it hit him on the back of the heart, the calf like that, and managed to spin wide of the goal and then just out for a corner
around the post.
Incredible around the post,
around the post.
It was unbelievable.
He looked at it when against us yesterday so badly. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Every ricochet went their way. Everyone.
DK35, thank you for your super chat. Remember Dimitar Berbatov at Fulham having the shirt on saying, keep calm and give me the ball. Intelligent and calm on the ball. We need that. John Cook, thank you for your super chat. Yes, keep Eddie and review at the end of the season. If we miss out on Europe, he would have to go for sure. Tom says, Eddie can never seem to influence a game tactically as it's playing out. It's just a change personnel and hope for a moment of brilliance. He's so frustrating. Yvonne says, suddenly my YouTube went berserk and I lost you. Oh, dear. Missed the comments, then realized my dog sat on the remote. Bloody dogs. Andy says, Paul, you are a right flip-flop. Last week against City, you said the team was more balanced without Isak. If anything, we missed Wilson more yesterday.
Isak, I think that was a totally different game, though.
Did I not just say that? And wasn't it Alex who said that last week? And Alex made that statement, and yes, I agreed with him because of the team we were against and the way we had to play. We were more balanced without Isak. But I've just said we missed Wilson much more. And I'm out of the two of them, I'm looking forward to seeing Wilson back more because, as Sam said, Isak hasn't set the world on fire this season. And I'm looking forward to seeing a fit Callum Wilson back doing the job for us. And hopefully, I mean, we've said this for years, it's not going to happen, but hopefully stays fit. Gary Hannon, thank you for your super chat. We definitely think that NUFC needs that something or someone who has the power up front with attacking options. Stephen Harker says we need a fox in the box like Robbie Fowler, and I know we have Wilson, but he's sponsored by the NHS.
I like that.
I mean, Nick Thornton, thank you for your super chat. Eddie's subs cost us yesterday. He also cost us the Fulham game through bad management. I think Eddie's been found out and has reached his limit.
There was one strange substitution. Absolutely, there was one strange one. I mean,
yeah, I understand the Tonali one now because he made some. He wasn't at his best yesterday, but he wasn't poor either. But he did make some ricks that almost led to goals. The Barnes one, do not get me started. I mean, that I do not for a million years. In fact, let's talk about that because nobody can come to me and say, oh, Barnes looked knackered. Barnes was tired. Barnes was not knackered. The reason he looked knackered when he came off was because he just made a 40-yard run down the pitch. Now, I'm sure anybody will be knackered and trying to get the breath back after that. And he just happened to be taken off straight after that happened. However, Harvey Barnes was one of our brightest players again yesterday. What anybody says, he was. And they took him off at half-time against Wimbledon, Sam, for that very reason, to play him against Everton. And he takes him off. And it didn't make any sense because Murphy, out of the three of them, Murphy for me, and I think Billy agreed, should have been the one to be taken off. And then 3 minutes later, he makes that change.
Yeah, well, everybody in the pub felt that as well. It was like going around and echoing around everywhere. And I think what Barnes brought to the game yesterday, on Saturday rather, was an element of unpredictability for their defence. I thought really good efforts, showed really good quality, floating around, getting into spaces, forcing them to make mistakes. And yeah, everybody was shocked when he was taken off and subbed. And I think you're absolutely right. People saying, "Oh, well, he's tired," and like, absolutely not. He just made that massive run. He's an athlete. That's what they do. He's going to.
And there's an international break in which he's not involved in, so he gets 2 weeks.
Play him.
Even if he is knackered, you keep him on because of what he can do. Surely. Oh, honestly, Peter Merrifield, thank you for your super chat. Good evening from the sunny island of Crete. You lucky twat. Anyway, Chippers, thank you for your super chat. 2 points off Fulham, Bournemouth and Everton is not good enough. Them type of results cost us Europe last season. I can't disagree with that.
I mean, the point about the Barnes substitute, we just mentioned it about Anthony Gordon not being a natural finisher. The one thing Harvey Barnes is a natural finisher. To take that threat out of your front three was madness. Murphy had a fair first half, but second half he was just kind of prolific. What's the word for it?
Prolific.
No. Peripheral. That's the word.
All right. Okay. Peripheral.
Yes,
on the peripheral, Billy.
He was hardly involved, so he should have been the first one off. No doubt about that.
Yeah.
We should have kept Barnes on as long as possible, really, because he can finish.
There was no. I don't think there's any excuse for taking Barnes off because he's not injured. He was. I just didn't get it. LG says Sanusi was playing for England under 21s. No, he wasn't. He was in the under 18s yesterday. That was a bizarre move as well, putting him down there. Playing for the under 18s yesterday morning, and they actually got hammered off Chelsea. So, yeah, not a great day for Sanusi. Dan with a super chat. Thank you, Dan. I would like to ask the Howe out fans, if we got rid of him, who do we realistically replace him with? Management dropped the ball in the transfers. I mean, it's a conversation that has been on the back burner for a very long time now about, oh, yes, but if Eddie goes, who will we get? Listen, we forget who the owners are, and if there was any compensation to pay for a certain manager that they wanted to go for, it wouldn't be a problem to them, would it? But I don't know. I mean, that's not for discussion now because Eddie Howe is our manager. Now I want Eddie Howe to be manager and win a trophy with us. If it starts going completely wrong and we start dropping points every week, I mean, we've got a very difficult period coming up after the international break, guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some really tough games. Starting with Brighton at home. That is not a simple game either. And then we go to Chelsea in the Premier League. Then we take Chelsea on a few days later in the Cup.
I watched Brighton earlier. They were crap first half. Second half, good grief, they were fantastic.
Oh, they got a. I would assume they got the hairdryer, Billy.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And also soft-scented Spurs shocker. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah. Peter Garthwaite, thank you for your super chat. Do you think Eddie Howe is trying to get sacked?
No.
I think Eddie genuinely does what he thinks is right, and obviously he's the manager, and if he thinks that is the right move, then fair enough. But we don't have to agree with it. As fans, that's we can agree or disagree with what we're seeing from a manager or a player. I don't particularly agree that it was right to take off Barnes. I think the Murphy one was fine. I think Willock needs a rocket up his ass, quite frankly. There's something not right there. I mean, he just looks a shadow of the player that he was at the minute. He looks lazy. He looks disinterested. And then, we've completed a lot of complaints about Sean. But when Sean came on for Tonali yesterday, Sean was outstanding yesterday. Winning the ball, making some great passes forward, getting himself forward. I thought Sean was excellent off the bench yesterday. So, and then that must be mind-numbing for Eddie as well when he sees certain players that start sometimes don't quite get to the level, then they come on as sub and suddenly the world beat us. It's a very, very strange football club right now. It has been for years. Supporting Newcastle is, well, it's up and down, isn't it? To say the least. But one thing we spoke of, Billy, yesterday, very early doors, that both fullbacks took ages to get going. I don't think Trippier actually did get going, if I'm openly honest. But Lewis Hall had a very dodgy first 10, 15 minutes in which he gave the ball away 3 or 4 times. But then I think he grew into the game.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he was a threat going forward. Defensively, he was solid for the whole game. So much so that in the end, they put an eye on him to try and take him on, and he got past him once or twice. But defensively, solid. After the first 10 minutes, confidence came back into his game. Helped out, of course, by Bruno and Tonali being available for him all of the time. Yeah. And Joe Linton as well. Let's give Joe Linton some credit too. The midfield yesterday I thought was very good. So Hall had options and looked a better player.
Samsonite Dove says, what are you on about? Tonali was man of the match. Created the 2 best chances we had. Flick for Bruno and was fouled for the penalty. Also saved Bruno from an embarrassing another giveaway. Listen, you can't praise Tonali for being thrown to the floor. That's not a piece of skill, is it? I mean, that's been manhandled by a gorilla in Tarkovsky to the floor. Yes, he created an opportunity, but he also almost gave 2 goals. He wasn't man of the match. Nowhere near man of the match. Listen, I love Tonali, and I think he's a fantastic footballer, but he wasn't at his best yesterday, but he wasn't poor either.
I thought he played well. I'll be honest, I thought he played well.
But he wasn't man of the match, Billy.
No, definitely
not. No, not in my opinion. But listen, fair enough. If you think that, Samsonite, that's your opinion, matey, and you are very entitled to it, bud. Johnny, who's been a member for 13 months now. Thank you, Johnny. I just don't understand Eddie's thinking. He's really starting to pay me off, losing trust in him fast. Michael McIntyre with another super chat, just saying hello again. Toon. Thank you, Michael. I mean, did Eddie drop the ball yesterday, Sam, with the substitute, with taking Barnes? Because we seemed, I mean, we said in commentary, it kind of take the sting out of our attacks, but we did have plenty chances after those substitutions. But it just seemed the speed of our attacks died down.
Absolutely. In my opinion, I thought that we looked good. I thought we looked really good yesterday. I thought that we were going for it. I thought we had a great intent in what we're doing. I thought we had the physicality behind us as well. It was being clinical in the finishing that really let us down there. And I think that's where I did enjoy the likes of Barnes. I did think Tonali played well. I think Joe Linton was probably I mean, he found his stride, didn't he? And I thought that would have been the difference maker. I thought that midfield was looking really strong. I don't know how you both feel about this, but I would really like to see Bruno playing maybe 10 yards a bit more forward. I just think he would just have the opportunity to create more, and that would allow us to get more crosses in. I think he could be more creative if we just played him 10 yards further forward.
I thought Bruno was a little naughty yesterday in the second half, where Anthony Gordon cut in and could have let go a right foot shot on his good foot. Bruno took it off him and skewed a left foot shot over the bar. I don't know why Bruno just didn't get out the way and let Gordon shoot that. But look, the thing is, I mean, I think you mentioned this at the end of the game yesterday, Bill, that the fact is that we could have won that game by quite a few goals. If we look back and say that the clearance from Ndai on the line, then you had Anthony Gordon's missed penalty, Anthony Gordon's one-on-one when he blazed over the bar in the second half. That pass from Joe Linton that should have played Miggy in, but played it slightly behind him. That could have been a fourth. I mean, you're talking an absolute hammering for Everton here because, I mean, let's face it, Everton were crap. I mean, they were crap. And Anthony says here, Paul, please rant about Everton's ridiculous post today if you saw it. I haven't seen it. What did they say? Anybody?
I didn't see that.
Let us know what they said, Anth, will you? I don't know, mate.
I don't know.
I haven't seen it, but it's bound to annoy me.
I mean, they kicked the hell out of us, didn't they? I mean, what we predicted on the Thursday night was they'd be physical with us. They were. We wanted Portsmouth to take control of the game. He didn't. And at the end of the game, he allowed more yellow cards than they did, which is ridiculous.
I mean,
shocking.
Dembele, I mean, I don't know how many times he made fouls in the first half. And Mangala as well, laughable. Nick Thornton, thank you for another super chat. Eddie mismanaged the squad last season and it cost us big time, and he's doing the same thing again this season. I mean, there's clearly some of the fan base not happy with Eddie, but I mean, we'll see on the poll a bit later.
It's dividing us though, because the points are going to start dwindling off if we keep on like this. We haven't managed to hit a stride yet, and then before we know it, we're back on another international break again. I think we all kind of expected us to have, started syncing up by now, and it hasn't happened. And then we've got Isak injured, unfortunately, and it's just causing a bit of turbulence. It's certainly dividing the fan base.
Eddie Howe is a boyhood Everton fan, and he wanted to sign Calvert-Lewin last summer. Well, listen, I was impressed with Calvert-Lewin last night, actually. I thought he led, considering the tactics Everton were playing, boomed the ball up to him, and I thought he made a nuisance of himself, and that's all he could do, given Sean Dyche's tactics yesterday. But he looked fit, he looked hungry, and, he did do well for Everton. I think him and Dye, I think, were probably their best players. McNeil came into it second half a little bit more, but they've got nothing else. I mean, they've got literally thugs as the centre backs. I mean, Keane and Tarkovsky, much use as chocolate fire guards, man. Spike Milligan, thank you for your super chat. After the subs, we went from fast attacking to a stroll in the park football. Shit subs. I'll just say it how it is, Spike, matey.
I agree with him.
Yeah. I've read that one out. Do you read that one out? No, I've read that one out. Okay. Fubar's been a member for 14 months. Thank you, Fubar. Premier injuries list: Wilson, Isak, and Miley's return date is 19th of October. Keep everything crossed. Great show as always. How are the lads? Yeah, they're all down to return against Brighton. But we'll see. I think it's just in Eddie Howe's mantle to put them all on the bench.
When's Botman due back now? Have we had a...
Oh, he's teasing us. He's teasing us, Sam. He's teasing us on his Instagram posts. Just saying the finish line is in sight and all that kind of thing. He's teasing us. Naughty from Sven. But I don't actually know. I think he's targeting an earlier return than what's the actual physios at Newcastle are doing, but we'll see. Anyway, let's take a look at the poll, because obviously we've got to put another one up for viewers' man of the match, of course. What do you reckon, guys?
I think people will be generally in favour of Eddie staying.
I'm going to go 60% Eddie stay.
Okay, Billy, you've got to give a percentage. You know the rules.
80%.
You're very close, Billy. 79% still in favour of Eddie Howe. 79% of the Newcastle fan base still want Eddie Howe. And the 21% were no. They don't support Eddie Howe anymore. Right, the next poll is for viewers' man of the match. Or player of the match, I suppose I better say now. Player of the match. Sam, you can have first dibs at this.
Yay, Joe Linton.
Okay. Joe Linton. Billy?
Bruno.
Bruno? Do you know who I'm going for?
Tell us.
This is really going to shock you. Dan Burn.
No, he had a good game.
I think Dan Burn's been fantastic this season at centre-back. I honestly, I've slated him at left-back, but he's been fantastic centre-back this season. And I've got no problem with Eddie playing him. I think he's been brilliant. Right, we have to come to an agreement on the fourth option, guys. Who are we going to put in as the fourth one?
How about the goalkeeper?
Nick Pope.
Distribution was good.
Well, he made one save, Billy.
He did it though, didn't he?
Well, yes.
He did his job, yeah. Man of the match, yeah.
I don't know. I can't think of
who did we have? Did we have Barnes?
Well, yeah, Harvey Barnes, I think, should go on there, shouldn't he?
Tonali.
We'll put Tonali, because there's a few people shouting at me in the chat that he was man of the match. So we'll put Tonali, yeah. But by the way, massive shout out to Miggy Almiron as well, who I thought was brilliant when he came on.
Yeah, put him in that poll, don't you dare.
No, but you listen, you can cut me for this or anything, you know. He was brilliant when he came on yesterday. He really livened things up a little bit. And, you know, I think he would have scored had he been played in better by Joe Linton, but he wasn't, so he didn't. Right, there's the poll. Who was your man of the match yesterday? You've got Joe Linton, Bruno, Dan Burn, and Sandro Tonali. There are the four. Get voting, and we will
fucking hell.
Yeah. Good game. We'll revisit that at the end of the show. Oh, dear me. Oh, dear. Never mind. I can't remember. I was going to say his catchphrase. I can't remember what it was.
Nice to see you.
Yes. Nice to see you. Nice. I sounded like a bloody gay sailor there, but never mind. Right.
Always lots of semen around when the day sailors around, to be fair.
Indeed, there is, Billy. Yes. Moving on. Chris from Evermore's with us. Miggy is still shitball. I didn't listen. Give me a break. I get hammered when I get hammered when I call him out, and then I'm getting hammered when I said he was brilliant when he came on. What's going on, man? Keith Truscott, thank you very much for your super chat. Gordon was man of the match for me. Was on fire.
Oh, yeah, Gordon.
I thought he did play well, to be fair.
Yeah, he did.
I'm not having it. I'm not having it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Wait, Paul.
You cannot put somebody on. No, listen, I am not taking anything away from Anthony Gordon yesterday. He stood up to the penalty. He was brave. However, if you're going to put him on a man of the match as a striker, he needs to score that penalty or score the one-on-one. You can't put him in for man of the match because he missed some amazing opportunities to score.
Yeah, of course you can.
So you can't put him on the man of the match list, despite him playing well and giving it everything, which he did. He wasn't man of the match. If he'd scored the penalty and scored that shot that he blazed over, then he would be right up there. But definitely not. Foxy says, fair play, Paul. I know Miggy's not a favourite, but you give him credit where it's due. Not many can do that who have clear agendas. Well, if we're speaking about agendas, let's call out our old friend Craig Hope again. Because I invited Craig Hope on the show a couple of weeks ago, and he completely blanked me, which is a big surprise. Craig, I'd just like to ask you, what is your problem with Sandro Tonali? Because your tweets about him yesterday were nothing short of a disgrace, pal. What is the agenda you have with Sandro Tonali? I mean, I know I've said he wasn't man of the match yesterday, but I also said he wasn't poor. Every few minutes, you were tweeting about Sandro Tonali giving the ball away or being poor or not being up to it. Why? And this isn't the first time he's done it, is it, Billy? Because, he has had an agenda against Tonali for a while now.
Yeah, I thought it was really, really poor form from him, actually, with those series of tweets. Where anything that went wrong, he blamed Tonali for. I mean, it was disgusting in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, he deserves calling out for it.
And I called him out yesterday on Twitter as well for putting that we were lucky to get away with Everton's penalty incident. And I thought, well, hang on, what the hell? What the hell is he? That was never a penalty in a million years. So,
anyway,
he's supposed to be a Northeast journalist, and he's saying we got lucky. What the hell? Evermore says, try Luke Edwards, mate. He seems to go on poor NUFC YouTube channels, so surely he'd jump at the chance of a good one.
You're right there, Chris. He's not only doing that, he's going on a live event with them as well.
Oh, let's not hold back then.
Well, you know what? It's laughable, isn't it? I mean, you've got Gallant with his merchandise and his streaming and his gigs that he's going to end up doing when he's got the voice of the devil. Honestly, just unbelievable.
Because it's TTR versus the world. Bring it.
It's always been that way, but no, we do. We love NFTV. We love Laura. They're good guys. And
Evermore,
yeah. We can run them off. There's only a few who have tickled my anger tonsils over the years, but there you go.
The epiglottis of anger.
The epiglottis of anger. That's right. Yes. I am the epiglottis of anger at times. Martin says, I thought the midfield looked really good yesterday. It just didn't happen up front.
I agree.
Yeah, we controlled the midfield. I mean, that was clear for all to see, Sam.
Absolutely. I thought the powerhouses ever of that was Joe Linton. I just thought he really got into it.
Hang on, whoa, Billy, don't take it off. I am going to address this. Borky, hello, you faceless character. Craig Hope is a great reporter who is willing to tell the truth about players and management, unlike you guys. And now if we don't say what you want, we get timed out.
You said you wanted Gareth Southgate to replace Eddie Howe. You're a fucking idiot, mate.
Yeah, Gareth Southgate to replace Eddie Howe. How can we forget that, Borky? I mean, tell the truth about players and management. Is that not why we've been banded as a negative channel? Because we tell it how it is. And we're not afraid to say the player did terrible or the manager did terrible. We've always been known for doing that. So I tell you what, go and watch Through Black and White Eyes or something where they kiss everybody's ass, Porky. Jesus Christ. Evermore says, wasn't that a Harry Potter book? HP and the Glottis of Anger. It might have been. Well, it's certainly going to be the next one. Father Bradley's in the house tonight. Lady Sam, you're on fire tonight.
Thanks, Dad.
Says Father.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, Borky's really got my glottis going, or whatever you call it again.
Maybe we should stop saying that.
Indeed.
Just in case people don't know what one is.
That's right. RH says, for those that criticise Tonali, really don't understand or appreciate what a Rolls Royce of a midfielder he is. He's outstanding and has everything. Just needs to continue to adapt and play. Or adapt. I agree completely. And I did say during commentary, Billy, that, he looks like he's just floating on water at times when you see him just moving across the pitch in the way he does.
I just love his availability. He's always there running in the ball. He gets us out of some tight situations. He's creative. He's quick. He's physical. He's got everything you want. Yeah, he was great yesterday. And he did, like you say, floats about the pitch like he's got all the time in the world. Generally finds himself all the time in the world as well. So with him and Bruno together, the sky's the limit, really.
Yeah. James Ansell says, spent this morning rewatching the match, and this finishing main issue hopefully be fixed after the break. But we still need that experience back. He's got to work on it. He has to work on it. Everybody says Craig Burners using his burner account. Dear me. Ball Johnny says, we've played better when we push up. How deep does anyone need to go to tickle your tonsils, Paul? I mean, there's a thing. Andrew says, the one thing that drove me crazy about Barnes yesterday was that he kept going on these dribbling runs into nowhere, losing the ball. Well, yeah, because he had 4 Everton players on him, because there was no support. If you watch Harvey Barnes' runs yesterday, he's making some really good runs, but there's no support there.
Well, he ignored Lewis Hall a few times.
Well, yes, but whatever. I get the point, but he's still bright spark though, running at people. And things can happen when he's got the ball. NUFC lad 88 says, you as a channel wouldn't be in content awards if you weren't a truthful channel and a good channel to watch. Thank you. Hello, Borky. Dan Robinson, thank you for your super chat. My gosh, how dare we have opinions on our club? Absolutely. Anthony says, class always comes through, which is why you always keep your class players on the pitch for 90 minutes.
I agree with that, to be fair.
Well, listen, as I've said before, I think the Harvey Barnes thing for me was just it was the wrong move. He actually made the right move 3 minutes later, which is even more annoying because he took the wrong player off. Looney Tune didn't rate Barnes as highly as Paul. Well, that's fair enough, maybe. Everybody's got their opinion.
The point of the matter is, though, that the amount of times Newcastle United players got to the byline yesterday and then just crossed it into Everton players on the near post was ridiculously amount,
Yeah.
To actually get to the ball, we don't do it very often, but we did it so many times yesterday. Murphy did it, Miggy did it, Barnes did it. They all did it at certain points, but the crosses were awful. Willock, the crosses were just dreadful. Just near post clearances every time. Yeah.
By the way, guys, voting is still open for the Football Content Awards 2024. That link is pinned at the top of the description. Just head over there and look for Best Podcast. Click on Premier League and you'll see a drop-down box and you'll see the Toon review in there. Please keep on voting for us. I think there's a week left of voting. Go and just keep doing it. We need all your help. We need all your help. Also, Susan's channel is also pinned at the top of the description. If you like your murder mystery files, go and subscribe to Susan's channel. It's really starting to take off. So thank you to everybody that has subscribed. More videos to come from Susan. She's bedridden, so she's just going through crime, doing some research on crime at the minute. So there you go.
Oh, you should be worried, Paul.
Why?
She might be getting some tips how to off you.
Dear God, Sam. What the fuck?
Had enough.
That's terrible.
Yeah, be worried. Has it not crossed your mind?
Not at all. It has now.
It's going to
Bloody Nora, man.
I've had a dark weekend.
Yeah, you haven't had defrosted pork for dinner tomorrow, Paul.
No, I'm not going to sleep tonight. Now I'll be like, is she awake?
What
is she awake? Is there an ice pick down by the side of the bed? Jesus, man, my God.
Anyway.
It is now time for the player ratings. So this is going to be interesting because I think we're going to all have very different opinions on these player ratings tonight. Which, I mean, to be fair, we've been quite close on them the last couple of weeks altogether, but this one I think may be slightly different, but we will see. Right, we will start off with His Holiness Nick Pope. Let us know in the chat what you would rate the players as well, please. Nick Pope, Billy, we'll take it from you first. That didn't sound right at all. Billy, you can start the player ratings first, Billy.
Thank you very much. Nick Pope, I thought it was much better yesterday. Distribution was good, confident with the ball at his feet. Only had one save to make, and he made a good save to keep us level. So I'll give him an 8.
An 8. Lady Sam?
I've gone for 7. The early punch away, there was great strength in it. The save, I thought he made some quite easy ones at the same time. So straight down the middle at a 7 for me.
Okay. Kieran Trippier, Bill?
What's your mark for Popey?
7, sorry.
Kieran Trippier. I thought he had a really poor game. I thought Ndiaye had him on toast. Didn't really have any idea of how to deal with him, and he didn't. Going forward, also not really as good as usual. I'll give him a 5.
He was beaten quite a few times yesterday, wasn't he?
He was.
Which was unusual. Sam?
I've also gone for a 5. Exactly what Billy said, with the addition of some poor passing thrown in there as well.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that Trips does bring to every game, though, is great communication. I think that he's always communicating with other people. He's always shouting for the ball and where to put it. But unfortunately, he just didn't know where he wanted to put it himself. So 5.
5 for Trips from you. I've gone for a 4. I thought he was really not at it yesterday. Some people saying he's starting to show his age. I mean, if that's the case, Billy, you said that last season.
I said it 2 years ago. When he
won. That's a bit of a worry. Gary Hannon, thank you for another super chat. I would have said Lewis Hall was man of the match. If he played like he played for maybe 60 minutes of the game, yes, but his first half performance wasn't too good. Lots of 4s for Trippier, 5s and 6s. There's 1 3 in there as well. But Samsonite Dove makes a good point, saying he always plays poorly against Everton. Certainly at Goodison. He hasn't had a great run recently down there, has he?
He did score against them, though, didn't he?
He did.
In his debut. Was it his second game?
But that was St. James's Park, Billy.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Lewis Hall, Bill?
Yeah, as you say, he started really shakily, but he came into his own, and he improved as the game went on. So much so that at the end, they put Ndiaye against him to see if they could get past him, and he might have done once or twice, as I said earlier.
He's a good player, to be fair, though, and Ndiaye, isn't he? He's a really
player. Yeah, too good
player.
For
them.
Yeah. Not really their style, is he? He's quite a ball player, which isn't their style, really, is it? They like the hoofball, don't they? I'll give Lewis Hall a 7.5.
Okay. Oh, hang on, we've got a Mackham in the chat. This is Wearside says, "Hello, Maras. Sunderland are the biggest club in the north." Yeah, okay, that's why you're in the championship, mate, and you've been down there for a long time. But whatever. Go back to your cheesy chips, mate. What did you rate him, Billy?
7.5.
7.5. Lady Sam?
Who are we doing? Hall.
Lewis Hall.
I'm also gonna go 7.5 actually. I thought he was far improved, really grew into the game in the second half. But he had several misplaced passes, really poor in the first half, I thought.
Yeah, his concentration needs to be a bit better, to be honest, because if that's against one of the top sides, we're a couple of goals down very early doors. And I think, Billy, you made a point of saying as well that, Bruno did that thing that he did at Fulham and cleared it, and Tonali somehow managed to control the ball, which was, it could have been a lot worse than that. So, yeah. Okay, let's move on to Dan Burn, Billy.
Yeah, I thought he had an excellent game. That's his type of game, isn't it? I mean, hoofing the ball down the pitch, so Pickford was the whole game. Dan Burn getting underneath it and heading it away. Yeah, that was his type of game. I'll give him an 8.
Okay. Lady Sam?
7.5, but definitely one to discuss what that lineup's going to look like when Botman is going to be returning. Yes, Burn looking much better. I thought that, again, he's a tool in a box and he really suited that game.
Well, I'm not sure he'd like being called a tool, but, I see where you're going with it.
Called a tool. You want to be in the box, don't you? Let's be honest.
Oh.
Wait. Hammering away.
Billy, it's God's day. You can't be making jokes like that on God's day.
Honestly, hammering away, to be fair.
Oh, dear.
Wow. I've given Dan Burn a 9. I thought he was just magnificent last night. I thought everything that came his way, he cleared. I thought, he's going from strength to strength. He just handled Haaland brilliantly last week. This week, he's done the same. I thought he was outstanding. And I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Dan Burn right now. And, so he's got a 9 for me. Fabian Schär, Billy.
Hard one to mark. I don't think he had a bad game. I don't think he was particularly great either, so I'll give him a 7.
7. Okay. He did hit some fantastic passes.
He did.
Dan Burn is just a shit Luke O'Nien. Oh, dear. Anyway, Sam, it's Fabian Schär.
Yeah. I don't think he set the world on fire, but did a really good job with the moments of magic. So 7.
Okay. I've gone 6.5, but for all the same reason, I thought Schär actually struggled against Calvert-Lewin last night. I thought Calvert-Lewin kind of outmuscled him a few times, but then you look at some of the diagonal passing again from Fabian. It was absolutely fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic.
Those are the moments of magic.
Indeed. Okay, let's move on to the midfield. Billy, Bruno.
I thought he had an excellent game. Back to almost his best. Scheming, defensively pretty solid. He did that one thing where he hoofed it across the penalty area and Tonali got him out of the shit. But I'll give him an 8.5. He's brilliant.
8.5. Okay. Sam?
I've gone for an 8. I think the shot over the bar could have been Gordon's ball, which was unfortunate.
Frustrating.
Yeah, just a bit frustrating, but you're absolutely right. Fabulous attempts, though. We're starting to see those moments again. I do want to see him playing further forward, but yeah, good all day.
Okay, so I've given him an 8.5 as well. I thought that was much better from Bruno. I thought he looked back to the Bruno that we all know and love, to be honest, and I thought he was outstanding. Sandro Tonali, Billy.
Again, I thought he had an excellent game. Would I have taken him off? Probably not. He did make a couple of mistakes before that, but he just always available. He just makes it look so easy. I'll give him a 7.5.
7.5 for Tonali. I'm interested to see what the viewers are going to vote him. There's a 3 in there for Tonali. 7, 6.5, 9, 7, 6. What did you give him, Billy? 7.5?
Yeah.
Sam?
I've gone for a 7. I thought the flick onto Bruno was absolutely outstanding. I love that he takes on players and he is readily available, but there are a couple of mistakes in there, a couple of misplaced balls, but yeah, happy to see him.
I've given him a 6.5. I've dropped him a point really for almost given a goal away, which a lot of people have pointed out to me in the chat. Okay, Joelinton, Billy.
Yeah, I thought he was best player on the pitch. I thought he was outstanding. That was his kind of game. He was just right at it yesterday physically. He was a threat. He outpaced their midfield on 2 or 3 occasions. I'll give him a 9.
Okay. Lady Sam.
Sorry, I'm really distracted by that Sunderland fan in the chat.
He's trying to wind us up, but if we just ignore him, he'll, he's trying to be funny.
My goodness. Sorry, who are we in?
The Big Joe.
Big Joe. I just loved him. 7.5 for me. Great runs. That run. What?
7.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
7.5. I thought that he was finding his stride. The reason why it's a 7.5 is because I know that we can have more from him.
Oh, demanding more. This is Wearside says, I'm a Geordie. It's a parody account.
Good
there
stuff.
You go. I've given him 9.5. I loved what Joe did yesterday. I thought he was fantastic. I thought he was energetic. And you know what we wanted from Joe is to stay out of all the shit yesterday when he was fouled. And he did exactly that. He got a few nasty tackles on him, and he just got up and got on with the game. Yeah, he laughed at some of the decisions that went against him. But then again, who doesn't when Craig Pawson's refereeing? But his drive to get forward, I loved what I saw from Big Joe. But back to one of his best games in a while, that for Joelinton. So 9.5 for me. Jacob Murphy, Billy.
I think it was okay first half, but he disappeared second half. When you got Ashley Young against you with the pace he's got, why didn't you take him on? Didn't see it in the whole game, to be honest.
Yeah, we didn't see enough.
I'll give him a 6.
Okay. And Sam?
5.5. Had the shot wide, like misplaced kicks all over the place. I did like the cross into Gordon, which was just before half time, I think. That was the one that was headed back to Joelinton, I think it was. But just completely lost it in the second half.
Yeah, I've gone with a 5, to be honest. I wasn't that impressed with Murphy. Decent first half, like Billy says, but nothing outstanding. Considering the fullback he was against, he's got pace to burn against Ashley Young, and he didn't really try and take him on at any time. Just knock the ball past him and sprint round him. I mean, he's 165 years old. You've got more pace than him in bags. Yet it just didn't seem to use it. Harvey Barnes, Billy.
Dare I say, I think he flattered to deceive a little bit. But having said that, he was a threat, and he wasn't predictable. Garner looked under most stress when he was on the pitch. After that, Garner looked very good. Yeah, which is a testament to Harvey Barnes. So I'm going to give Barnes a 7.
7. Sam?
Gone for an 8 for Barnes, actually.
Yeah.
Reason I've gone for an 8, I think he can get into space. I think that he made us look more creative in our front line yesterday. The unpredictability of him caused problems for their defense as well. Really great effort early in the first half. Showing his quality, really showing his quality.
Yeah. I've gone for an 8 as well. I'm very impressed with what I'm seeing from Harvey Barnes at the minute. And I was really pissed when Eddie took him off. Okay, Anthony Gordon, Billy.
Yeah.
Let's get in.
Had he scored the penalty and his one-on-one, you're looking at a 10 out of 10 performance. But the fact he missed both, I'm going to restrict him down to a 7. I thought his effort was fantastic. Thought he played really well, but you can't give praise for missing the penalty. So that drops him a couple of points. And the one-on-one also. So 7 for me.
Sam?
I've also gone for 7. What I did like is he seems to have his acceleration back. There's a difference between pace and how you accelerate when you're going into a run. And I thought that he had that back yesterday, which I was really pleased to see. He was slow off the mark in previous games, so that was much improved. But like we said, missed the pen. And I kind of want to discuss this a little bit. Should he have been put in for it? Was it too much pressure to put him in?
I think Fabian Schär should have took it, if I'm totally honest. I don't think he should have taken it, and I think that the leadership group should have made a stance there and said, "Look," but I can also understand, you've got to praise him in a way. He didn't bottle it. He stepped up to be the man. It didn't work out, but I mean, I'm going to upset a lot of people here.
Oh.
5.5 is my score for Gordon. And Foxy agrees with me, actually. No criticism for the pen. It's the second half chance not on target, which was the biggest disappointment. That's why I've knocked him down a couple of points. Because at the end of the day, when you're in that position, you've got to score them in the Premier League, guys. You've got to. That's what you're there for. And you can't, I mean, not hit that one where he blazed it over the bar. For me, it was criminal. It just need burying in the far corner. And and the penalty was poor. Let's be fair. It was a poor taken penalty. So for that, I've knocked him down. And I know that's people are going to find that harsh. Some don't, but some do. But I just think, when you're in that position, you've got the chances you've got to put them away. And then knocking it back to Joe Linton when he had nodded in the net. He got himself into all askew with position and then had no choice, but because of his body position, had to nod it back to Joe Linton. So, nothing against his effort. I thought his effort was brilliant yesterday, as usual. But, you've got to take the chances in the Premier League when you get them like that. But, I still love him. Right. Substitutions. Who came on for when? Let's look back here. Who was the first?
Barnes went off first, didn't he? Barnes and...
So who came on for Barnes?
Miggy
Willock.
did.
Eh?
Miggy did, didn't he?
Yes. So
and Trippier come off at the same time for Livramento.
Almiron, Livramento, Willock,
Longstaff.
And Longstaff. Those were the four, weren't they? Okay, we'll go with Miggy first, Billy.
Yeah, I think he may have regained that right wing position because he played well against Wimbledon. He played really well yesterday when he came on. Looked a real threat. His pace was troubling them down that right flank. I'll give him a 7.5. And he was only on for 20 odd minutes, but I thought the effort and the actual fact that he was creating stuff, I'll give him a high mark. I thought he played really well.
Sam?
7. I think that he did do well. His pace did shake their defence and caused them to make some mistakes. I think he also had he had a cross into Gordon, which was missed, unfortunately, if memory serves. But much more improved. And I think we're starting to see something better from him. And as Murphy is not improving, I think he's probably earning the spot back as well, Billy.
I've given him an 8. I was really, really pleased with Miggy yesterday. I thought he was. I mean, Nick's given him a 5. Headless chicken on crack. I thought he was more than the headless chicken yesterday. I think he made some great runs. He should have been played in better by Big Joe. But I like what I saw, and I don't often say that about Miggy. Livramento, Bill.
More solid than Trippier was, and got involved going forward too. So maybe he's regained his place in the side as well because
possibly
Trippier was pretty poor yesterday. So I'll give Livramento a 7.
Sam?
Yeah, probably a 7 as well. I don't think he set anything on fire, but he didn't make any mistakes, and he's equally good at going forward as tracking back. We haven't seen that recently. Why he lost the spot, and he probably has regained it because of Tripp's poor form.
Of course, he's been dropped from the England squad, hasn't he? But then again, he hasn't. I don't think he's done it. But I don't think he's done enough anyway to be in the England squad. Joe Willock, Billy.
Oh yeah, what a disappointment with Joe. It was all set for him to do something. He's another one that's a natural finisher. Didn't get himself in the areas. It's kind of floated around on the left-hand side, just with his receiving passes, not really taking players on. Looked a little bit lazy, let Mao say. I'll give him a 5.
Okay, Sam.
4.5. I don't think he's back up to full tilt yet. And he just seemed to come to life in the dying minutes.
Yeah, I've gone 3.5. I'm just not impressed with what I'm seeing for Willock at the minute, but I want to see more. We know he's got it in his locker. We know he's a better player than what we're seeing at the minute. Whether it's just more time on the pitch that he needs, I don't know, but he's just not doing it right now at all for me. Longstaff, Billy.
Yeah, I thought he did really well when he came on, despite me not wanting him to come on. When he did come on, he did really well.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he was constructive and he played pretty well defensively. I'll give him a 7.
Mm-hmm. Sam?
6.5 from me. Much better. I think that he really shook things up in the midfield as well, and he seemed to give us appetite when we needed it.
Yeah, I've gone for a 7 as well. I was pretty pleased with what I saw from Sean, and again, I don't often say that, but he did. He played well when he came on. He got himself forward. He made some nice passes. He looked creative, dare I say, at times, which we haven't said that about Sean Longstaff in a long time. Finally, the manager, guys. Billy.
Yeah, I mean, got to give him credit for having us playing in an attacking way. I thought he played some really good stuff yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
We didn't get the goals we probably should have got. However, he did steal all of our momentum away when he took Harvey Barnes off and left Jacob Murphy on the pitch. I think he killed all momentum, and from that moment on, Everton started coming into the game. Yeah, it was a really poor decision for me. So 5 for me.
Sam?
I am going to go with a 6. I do agree that the tenacity went out of the game due to the decisions with the subs. I think prior to that, we had a lot of chances, and I think it's down to the players to actually finish them rather than the manager. But we did set ourselves up to go on the attack, which was really great to see. But had to mark down for the sub decisions. I wasn't happy about that.
Yeah, I've given him a 6, and I've marked him down for exactly the same reason, because I really peed off about the Harvey Barnes substitution. I think he got it wrong. However, like Billy said, the attacking football we played, some of the passing, especially the passing out from the back, was absolutely outstanding. And I don't know if that's because Everton are just shit anyway, but we were.
They don't press, do they?
No, they didn't press as hard as we possibly do, but I was impressed with the passing, and they weren't panicking. They were just, they saw the white shirts in space, and we played out really well. I honestly think if we'd had a striker there, guys, yesterday, we'd have been a very different match review tonight. It would have been completely different, because I think we would have won by like 3 or 4 goals. We should have done. Yeah,
yes.
and that, I just hope that doesn't bite us in the arse, like Chip has said earlier on in the show. When it comes to the end of the season, hopefully these drop points don't come back to bite us when we're hopefully challenging at the right end of the table.
It does. Remember the Chelsea one last year when we kind of, I wanted him out when I thought he just surrendered the game by taking Bruno off.
Yeah, I remember that.
Who finished above us by a point? Chelsea.
Yeah. Foxy says we need to have a conversation about Asula soon. If he's not ready to contribute, not sure we need to send him out on loan in January. Otherwise, he'll regress and have wasted money. It's a puzzling one for me. He's not
going to get any time when Wilson and Isak come back anyway. So I'll tend to agree with that.
He's going to disappear. Absolutely.
So why buy him in the first place? They surely didn't anticipate Isak getting injured. Maybe that's what it was for, because maybe they did, with Wilson being out till October time. Can't
disagree. Right, the viewers' man of the match. Who do we think they've gone for, guys?
Big Joe, I imagine.
Joe.
It is indeed Big Joe. 52% of the votes for Big Joe. Second was Bruno on 17, Dan Burn on 16, and Tonali on 15. So there you go. Big Joe was the viewers' man of the match. Congratulations to Big J7, and rightly so, in my opinion. He was outstanding yesterday. But there you go, guys. That is the match review done and dusted. Unfortunately, not the 3 points we were hoping for. It could have been very, very different, but unfortunately wasn't to be. But thank you very much for watching. Keep voting for us in those awards, guys. Get yourself over and subscribe to Susan's channel. It's all pinned at the top of the description. Hit that subscribe button if you're new and you like what you've seen. And don't forget to give it a thumbs up as well. This will be on Spotify, Apple iTunes podcasts about an hour after this show ends tonight. So if you like listening to the podcast, don't forget it's on iTunes and Spotify and all your favorite podcast providers. about an hour after the show. But thank you for your super chats and memberships. Mods, thank you. Billy and Sam, thank you very much. That is it from tonight. It is international break, but we will continue to talk Newcastle United. But in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your Sunday night, folks. Good night from us.
How are the lads and lasses?
Come back and check out the green.